Hi, everybody. Welcome to another segment of What is Your Self-Love Story? And today I am featuring someone that I met. If you guys are not familiar with a nonprofit called Feminism, we host monthly events called Win with Women. And I met Michelle, who I'm featuring today, inside of that group. She came to a few of our meetups, and so I'm excited to hear about her story because honestly, I think she might have shared some of it inside of the session that we were at, but I'm interested to hear more. So I'm going to be sharing this out to the self-love community. If you're looking for some free self-love support, join above there in the self-love community. And also I'm going to be sharing this on my page. So if you're here, please say hi. Hi, Michelle. I'm going to be inviting you in just a second. You can go ahead and share this out to peeps that were interested in joining us, because I'm going to be sharing this right now. La 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 la. So give us a second. Hi, Linda. Love seeing you here. You are such a great supporter. Hi, Steve. Thanks for joining. I'm going to be sharing this in the self-love community as well, and then on my page. So I'm almost done doing that. Steve, where are you tuning in from? I already know, but for anyone who's new here, Linda, where are you tuning in from? Hi, 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 hi. So I'm just sharing this out. So the reason why I am doing this is because sharing my story is one perspective. Hi, Eric. And then sharing someone else's story is another perspective. I know that many of us had different struggles. Many of us are struggling on the self-love journey. Many of us don't even know what self-love is, perhaps. And many of us are on the journey. So we can listen to each other, share, and be inspired, from one another. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Michelle on. I'm here from Madison, Wisconsin area. Woo woo. Awesome. Okay, Michelle, where did you go? She was just here. She was just here. Michelle, where are you? Hold on, let me message her to come back on because you were just there. Come back on. So yeah, that's why I started What is Your Self-Love Journey? And right now, who I am featuring are individuals inside of the self-love community. So if you are someone who would like to be featured one of these days, let me know. Let me know so I can invite you to the group. So Michelle was just here. I should have just invited her on. I should have just added her right then and there, because where did she go? Where did she go? So Michelle, if you're here, let me see. Let me go back to her. Where did she go? Thank you for your patience, you guys. I mean, if you guys need some water, grab some tea, grab some coffee, just to settle in, because it depends on how long the story is, but usually we take about 15, 20 minutes. So Michelle, where are you? Where are you, Michelle? She was just here. Probably not. I will show you how to do it later. Go ahead and get back on my live. Oh, she went off to share it with people, so... Hi, everybody. Thank you for sharing where you're tuning in from. So my name is Quinn, if you guys did not know already. I go by Quynhforthewin. I am a self-love coach. The reason why I talk about self-love so much is because it's not talked about often. And it has absolutely helped me go from, how would I say it, being very codependent and attached to people, and especially romantic relationships. Let me know if you guys have been there. And once you feel loved by somebody, you really hold on to that feeling. So when things change, even though the red flags are there, even though bad things are happening, because you experience what you were missing, you will literally depend depend on that person until you really realize like, hey, like, yes, it was great at that time, but it is time to let it go. How do I let go? Huh? I'm not sure what you are referring to. Get back on to my personal Facebook. Okay, yes, get out of the office, rejoin on your phone. We will see you coming back, Steve. And so, yeah, and self-love, going to different practices, doing things that I've never done for myself was a trip. And if it, you know, and the uncomfortability and everything, if I did not do that, I definitely wouldn't be. How do I stop sharing with everybody? Try getting out completely and then get back on. So Michelle is having some issues. I don't know what was happening when she started sharing out with other people. She doesn't know how to stop it. So I'm not sure. Oh, there she is. There she is. Yay. You guys, give Michelle a warm welcome. Give her all the hearts, all the emojis. I believe this is her first time going live, and she's saying yes to using her voice. And I know that could be a scary thing, but here's the thing. She reached out and was seeing what I was part of it, even though going live is kind of semi-terrifying.
I think the problem is I shared and I did like so people could actually watch live. So I don't know if that was the glitch in the system because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
You are all good.
Let me go get my
Yes.
earbuds so we don't.
Perfect. You guys give her some love. Make sure you give her, like, you know, the hearts, the emojis when she's on, because I know that when you're talking and you're on, you know, this kind of live platform, it's scary. So that would be very encouraging for her if you can, yeah, tap the hearts and stuff like that. So.
So I hope that it didn't kick out the people that are attached to me, because I don't know, you know, if you tag me in it, I don't know if the people, I don't know. So because those people that were coming in, you know, the ones that you didn't know, that they, because I shared it, so that's, I think, why that they could join in and listen. So anyway.
Yes, they should be able to see it. If I tagged you and you don't have any kind of private settings for people tagging you, then you should be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can see it, not me.
Okay.
I can't see like who joins in, but whatever. Yeah, it's no biggie.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I will make sure that I let you know who says what.
Okay.
So that, okay.
Good.
Yeah, and just in case, I'm gonna share on your. Can I share on your friend's timeline? Okay, I'm gonna share on your timeline just in case.
Okay.
Michelle. All right, well, let's just welcome Michelle. Let's get this started.
Yay.
I want to
thank
you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank you for opening up your time. And I know that we did a private live yesterday, and you mentioned that, you know, it's, you know, going live is a whole different story, but there was something in you that said that you needed to do it. So there's definitely like some growth and like purpose attached to this for you.
Yes. I think for me, it's faith over fear, for one.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're going to live in fear, it's a little scary. And yes. I think we, you know, if we stay in our comfort zone, you don't learn much from your comfort zone. We have to get out, we have to experience, we have to try new things. And if I was to be like honest, I don't know why I'm scared of getting behind the camera, because you could put me on stage in front of thousands of people and I could rock it out, and I'm totally fine talking in front of people. But when it's like this, it's a different beast. And I literally had to, you know, about 15, 20 minutes, sit down on my couch and say a little prayer and ask, you know, I'm very faith-based, and to just ask to have him speak my words and use them through me, because that, to me, we tell a story. Each individual has a story, and I feel that sometimes our stories can resonate with other people. And I'll be honest, your lives have touched me in different ways. So there's tidbits that you have interviewed with other people, and you
Yeah.
guys did. I mean, your feminism has, you guys did allow me to sit in that chair and share with a room full of people, and I was fine. And it was literally off the cuff when you
Oh,
guys
I
did
know.
it. And that,
I remember.
yeah.
I was just,
So,
before you went on, that's what I was sharing with them. I met you through
mhm.
that and I heard a little bit of your story, but I'm excited to hear it again and hearing more. We get
Yeah.
one-on-one time to actually like know your story on a
And
deeper level.
for me,
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like this is a girlfriend to a girlfriend, and it would be
Yes,
sitting down and being able to share with each other. So,
exactly. Exactly. Yay! So for the first question I would like to ask you,
mhm,
we hear about this word self-love. I know that I didn't know about it like in my way younger years. It wasn't
mhm.
until like I surrounded myself with a positive community, and then I started kind of hearing it a little bit more. And I would say, especially when I was looking for a way out of where I was, being so codependent and broken emotionally over like a breakup, um, I feel like a combination of that, I was more open, and so I became more aware. And so when self-love, that word or that meaning appeared, I was really curious about it. So I want to know, I would love to know, like if you could reflect and remember what were some of the events, like maybe one or two events that led you to the word self-love, or if it's not self-love, it would be like personal growth or inner growth or spiritual growth or whatever it is, because honestly, it's all in the same category. So
Mhm.
what were some of the events that you can recall and share with us that led you to your path of growth or self-love?
So I can give you two. And when you sent me basically, okay, these are
Yeah.
some of the points that
Yeah.
I want to ask you. For me, I'm
Yeah.
very meticulous and uh, having bullet points just so I don't get stuck, whether I'm on stage or wherever I'm at. So
Mm-hmm.
the two major life events for me was getting pregnant at a young
Mm.
age, and
Okay.
I was 17. When I tell people that I have almost a 30-year-old, she'll be 30 this year. People are like, when did you have her? When you were 10? And shortly thereafter, I hung out with the wrong people and I was addicted to drugs and had an issue with
Mm.
alcohol. So you copulate the two of those, and that's kind of, and I came from a very, very um, strong family.
Mm.
I am the oldest of four children, and I mean, this is currently right now, but I'm the oldest of four. I am the only one that is never been and not married. And my parents just celebrated 53 years of marriage.
Mm.
So that was a heavy, heavy burden. And you talk about not having any self-worth, not feeling good, um, having the drugs and the alcohol to ease the pain, um, having everybody give me this, oh, I was able to get away with the looks and being beautiful and having things that were done, given to me easily. And I being able to get away with certain things because of that. And so that was almost a crutch. And it was a blessing
Mm.
and a curse at the same time. And there was a lot of guilt and pain. And um, for me, it was keeping it inside. But
Mm.
the outside was in a lot of pain,
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, not being able to look in the mirror and liking the reflection that looks back at you, and
Right.
being in so much pain that the alcohol and the drugs were, that was the numbing,
Mm-hmm.
that was, I
Those are
didn't feel
go-to.
anything. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
so for me, that was easier than saying, yeah, you're a good person and you got it together. And so that affected not just my relationships, it affected my health, it affected how I felt, it affected my finances,
Oh, yeah.
it affected everything, every aspect of my life. And I was in a down world or down spiral, and I couldn't seem to get myself back up.
Yeah.
So those were, and of course, I probably have a few other major events. I mean, even attached to that, you know, having a child, I was a child having a child, you know. Yeah, I was
Yes.
a kid having a kid, and I had no idea how to be a parent.
Right?
And, you
Yeah.
know, and then shortly thereafter, my daughter's father, her biological father left and has never played a part in my daughter's life. So you talk about what I'm not good enough. I mean, my daughter's not good enough. And having to deal with that in itself emotionally, and then you put everything else together, it's like, oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, those are some major events that
Oh, yeah.
even play a part, you know, in for me today, and having to be strong enough to mindset for me is a big deal.
That's where it starts,
And
I say. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So
Wow. Thank you
so
for
mhm.
sharing that. Oof.
And
I am
to be
all right there with
vulnerable,
you. Yeah.
to share that with even people that I don't know, because in
Hmm.
this world and in our society, especially women, they're very catty, and they are very they can be very vindictive, and it
Yes.
can be where they meet you and then they hear your story, and then it's like, oh, did you hear about that girl, and you know
Yeah. The
what this person
gossip.
said?
The
And
gossip.
yes, and
Yeah.
for me, I am a person of wanting to build you up and to motivate you and to empower you because of my story and because of where I've
Right.
gone through. So, and because of, you know, the things that I've experienced. So,
Right? Oof. I just want
yeah.
to, you guys give her some love, man. That was, I really appreciate you jumping on here and just going there, you know, and I know you had some
Thanks.
time to reflect on what are two major events. And so with that said, what was the like rock bottom moment, or what was the that turning point where you saw the light, or like something, because something helped you really start changing some things around, right? Like you mentioned alcohol, you mentioned drugs, and then you mentioned being a single mom. So
Hmm.
what was that point, or what started happening, or what started coming into your life where you
I'll tell you
started
what it
changing
was.
some things around?
And
Yeah.
it'll never, it was my daughter.
Mm,
I did not want my child to grow up thinking my mom is a complete loser. Because
yes.
my
Yeah.
kid could have went one way or the other. I could have went one way or the other.
Yes, for
And I
sure.
want to go up and not down. And my child graduated college with her bachelor's. My daughter was on the cover of the Red Book magazine 3 years ago, I
Okay.
believe. My daughter is a professional model. And let me tell you, I wasn't a great mother. Okay. And
Mm,
I'm not saying that I was a bad mom, but I didn't make great choices.
mm,
But I had the love and the grace and the forgiveness and the faith and the family, because I've always said it takes a village to raise a child.
I got
And
chills. Yeah. Mm,
if you don't have that background, and when we get to the next part of your segment, then you'll be able to pull it and hone it all in. But it was
mm,
my daughter. And it's funny because my daughter thinks that she's funny. So when because she tells me all the time, Mom, get with it. Figuring out, you know, all the electronics and all this kind of
oh,
stuff. I am so old school. Like I am a want to reach out, touch you, love you, kiss you, you know, because I'm Hawaiian. So that's how we are, right? And that's my personality. And it's funny because when my daughter put her name in my cell phone, she put um, my greatest accomplishment.
oh my gosh.
And it
Oh
took me
my
a long
God.
time. It
Wow.
took me a long time to figure that out. And she
Mm,
is my biggest and greatest accomplishment. And let me tell you, And without trying to get emotional, because that's who I am, she is. And if God never gave me anything else in this lifetime, he gave
Yeah.
me her.
Right.
And if I never, because I'm done having children. I will be, 48. I'm damn near close to 50. Um, he gave me the best gift in the world.
Mm.
And if I didn't choose to want to do something better for her and to create a legacy for that girl, that
Yeah.
daughter of mine, then what would it, where would I be in? And I want to build or greatness. I want to, build that legacy
Mm.
and to be able to give her something that when God takes me off this earth, she can say, you know what, my mom did the best that she could have done with the tools that she was given, and she did
Yeah.
it because she wanted to leave something for me. So for me, the
Mm.
practice is the faith and the family and
Mm.
building health and wealth and making better decisions and the
Mm.
positive reinforcement and being able to finally look in the mirror and like that reflection that looks back at me and
Mm.
having that motivation, but being able to pull that from family, friends, girlfriends,
Yeah.
going to different events that you guys have, because there are a lot of things that women don't know. They're afraid to step out of their boundaries, their comfort zone, because
Yeah.
and trust me, I was afraid to do that because I didn't know how I was going to be treated by other women,
Mm.
because I've been there where I've been picked at, poked at, prodded at, talked about, been, treated extremely horrible because of the
Yeah.
way I look, because of the way I walk. And I had a male friend of mine tell me one day, he's like, you're so like, you stand tall and you
Mm.
walk confident. But if you truly knew me, it's taken me a long time to
Oh
get there
yeah.
because I wasn't that confident inside. And you talk about like therapy. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a psychologist and a psych doctor, and people look at me like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I told them, I was like, you know what? I feel like everybody should have
Mm.
somebody that they can talk to. And I'm not talking your family, your
Mm.
friends, your best friend, your sister, your mother. I'm talking somebody that can give you different things to look at,
Mm.
different ideas to walk it out, and God gave them those skills for a reason. You know what I mean? Because
Mm.
not each of
Mm.
us have it. We have our different skills,
Totally.
but
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I hear you. Oh my
that's
gosh.
the
So what
practice
I
that I
heard,
do.
yes, what I heard for that is like environment is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like who you're around, and that's what I really heard loudly through what you just shared because you mentioned family, you mentioned your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Some of my clients that I talk to, I'm like, okay, that's great, but what is going to be your reminder for that important message that you just mentioned?
Yep.
So I heard daughter, family, and then like what you just said, and you mentioned faith. And what was the other thing? You said faith, practicing faith,
Therapy.
and there you go, the support.
And
Yeah,
health and building wealth
there you go.
and making better decisions. When you know that if I go this way, thinking before you act, because I would just
Yes.
be like, yeah, okay, this is what I want. Guess what? There's a difference between want and need. You know what I mean?
Yes, high five.
So,
I said,
yeah.
preach. That is, I mentioned, I talk about that all the time. Huge
Yeah. And
difference.
I
Huge
know
difference.
me. And that's what I tell
Mm,
people. Pay attention
yeah.
to self. Pay attention to
Mm,
your body. Your body will talk volumes to you. And pay attention to that. Because, it's funny. I tell people, God gave us 2 ears and one mouth. Listen sometimes.
hello.
God gave us
Yes.
2 eyes. You know what I mean? Pay attention. Pay attention.
Yes.
So,
Would love to hear about the health because like, when I hear about faith, I hear about that's like spirit in the spiritual,
mhm.
area. And it's so important to go to self, first of all. When you connect with faith, when you connect with whatever it is that helps you spiritually grow or get to get to know self and then getting to know your needs, that is a great way to decipher decisions. And I love that you brought up decision making, because we can look back and
Yeah.
a lot of people say we're the sum of the decisions that we made a long time ago, right? A long time ago. And then you mentioned about health, which can look different for everybody. So I'm curious, what do you do to take care of your health? Because that's like, I'm feeling that's taking care of your physical body, but also with like, that goes into your mental and emotional too. So
It
would
does.
love to
And
hear
I'm
that.
not going to lie to you, because so I am a Zumba instructor, and I
Look at
did that
that.
for me
Yeah.
because I love to dance, for one. And I was a sports player my entire life. I played competitive
Okay.
soccer.
There you
I
go.
played every sport you could possibly think of: basketball, volleyball, soccer, softball. I did that in my younger years. Like I said, I'm getting older
Yeah.
now. So my mind
Yeah.
moves a lot faster than the ball and my body and all of that. Okay. So, but with this COVID-19, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
wanting
shift.
to have a drink a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
That,
Right. Who can
you
relate?
know,
Who can relate?
yeah, I'm
Seriously.
sure a lot of people
Yeah.
can. Do a lot of people want to acknowledge that fact? And that's difficult, you know? So for me, it's not, because I feel like that's the first step to
You
being
got it.
able to get through it. But I am a person that is very, you know, a lot of people, and if I offend anybody, I'm very sorry, because I am 100. I keep it 100. And my sister
Yeah,
will
girl, gotta
always
be
say,
yourself.
sister, every time that you speak, 95% of it is point on point. She's like, but your deliverance sucks. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm a work in progress, so I'm working on that.
Yeah, you're a
But
work in progress, and everybody else is. Yes.
I think
Yeah.
so. But I'm very open, and I wear my feelings on my sleeve. And the COVID-19, even though it's been positive in a lot of ways, meaning for my purpose, my passion, my business, I still have a regular job. I work for the state of California, so I've been able to work at
Yeah.
home, which has been a blessing, even though us state workers are, well, getting a little, you know, cut. And I think it's not fair, but whatever.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, the health is, I think, extremely important. And for me, I happen to get in my head a lot, and I think so much further out, where I think a lot of people can't see past the nose on their face. And that's where I feel like they need to look out and look past. And I'm not talking all the way in the future. I'm not talking about that.
Right.
I'm talking just look a little further out. And I challenge people to do that. And I want to say unfortunately, but I think it's fortunate for them, because I want them to go home and to think about, wow, she made me think about this, or she
Right.
got me to think about that, where I never would have maybe thought about that, or, you know, got into thinking about that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I, at one point, one of my psychologists, he was blind. He couldn't even see me. And if you knew his story, you'd be like, whoa, no way. Because he was
Yeah.
misdiagnosed by a doctor at the age of 35, and a single dad raising two kids, and that's how he lost his
Wow.
sight.
Oof.
But for me, like, he talked about health, and it, like, it's hugely important, because, and I'll tell you why. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. You don't
Right.
got your brain,
It's huge, huge
you
part
have
of you.
nothing. You have nothing. And then that's where you start to fall backwards, right? You start to have whatever it is that your vices are. Then you start self-talking yourself, going, you know, I'm not this, or I'm not that, and I don't have this, and I don't have that. And then it starts to be, again, that downward spiral. And when you start going this way, man, it's really hard to get back up there. And
For
like I
sure.
said, I mean, I've been in therapy for, and I'm not going to lie, been one of the greatest things for me because it's helped it's encouraged me. It's helped me find my purpose and my passion to where I can now help other single mothers and give them direction and encouragement and drive and a desire where they might not have had that 6 months ago, a year ago, or 3 years ago, or whatever the case may be. Because trust me, I didn't have it either. And I'm not afraid to share that, you know?
Exactly. So, your story and everything. So that's a perfect segue into going to what have you been creating? Because I know you mentioned business, you've mentioned, like, I know that you have a nonprofit. There's an organization. So can you tell us a little bit what you've been creating as a result of your self-love journey or your spiritual personal growth journey? What have you been creating? Where are you now and what's next for you? Yeah.
So because of my life events and literally falling on my face a handful of times, and I literally hit the ground and I said, you know what, Lord, there is no way that you put me on this earth to not create greatness.
Right.
And it's not for me. It's because you are giving me this opening door to show others. Because I'm thinking to myself, like so I just put this on my story the other day, right? God doesn't give us what we can handle. God helps us handle what we are given. And there are so many times that I tell people that he gives us, you know, only what we can handle. And when I saw that, I was like, what an analogy. Like, no, he helps us handle what we are given. And with all of that, I could have said, you know what, man, I'm just going to be somebody that's ordinary. Just going to do that. When I hit the ground on my knees, I don't know how many times I questioned my faith, and I see my siblings and they have hit some greatness. And I mean greatness to where it's, you know, good things with their family, their relationship with God, and I'm talking wealth. And so I said, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? What help me, direct me, show me. What is it? Like, give me something, because I obviously can't see it. And you gave me 2 eyes and I'm not blind. So what is it? Maybe I am, you know, what is it? And so I started a nonprofit for single mothers. I am not a single mom now. I mean, I'll always be a single mom, obviously, unless I hope that I will find a relationship or a partnership that I can cohabitate under the same roof.
Love that.
To where it's healthy, where I get it because you get it. And there's reciprocity in our relationship. I've done enough fighting and bickering and, you know, I do this because you do this for me. No. No. It's, we get it. You know what I mean? Like, there's, you got your friends and I got my friends, but then we have our life together and we like to do some of the same things, but then we don't. So for me, I want to encourage and to, like I said, so I've created my nonprofit, and the name of my nonprofit is called Gracefully Blessed. And I'll be honest, when I started this, it was called Moms on Purpose, and the acronym was MOP. And I was like, mops they're dirty. You know what I mean? Like, they're dirty. Not to say that moms don't clean, but I mean, MOP was, you know, it was dirty. So I prayed and prayed and prayed, and I said, it'll come to me. And it was Gracefully Blessed. And the reason why I chose that is, even through my darkest, dirtiest times, God has always shown me grace, and he's always blessed me throughout all of that. And I'm telling you, I've been in some pretty dark times, pretty dark scenarios, which this will be another segment we can get into, but bad. So my page is gracefullyblessed.org.
Yes, I'll tag it above everybody, or down below. Yeah.
And basically, Gracefully Blessed, it aims to provide, you know, single moms with educational programs and resources that are designed to it's for success in parenting and finances and housing and
Right.
at
All the
one
important.
point, and overall health and wellness. And when I say housing, at some point, I would like to do transitional housing for my single mothers. And
Yes.
it's a
Powerful.
structured single.
Yeah.
It's structured housing. And it's crazy because I was just talking to somebody. I'd like, so I also raise Labradors. I raise dogs, and I would like to have 2 therapy dogs on each property because I feel that they are zen and they could help the children and give them a sense of responsibility and walking and
Love that.
taking care of them. But I also feel like they can help the moms too. And then I'd like to have like an acre on the property for them to do gardening and
I love
live off the
this.
land and things of that nature. So I also I have a health and wellness company that partners up with my nonprofit. And it's also a way for these single moms to, a lot of them want to stay home with their children, right?
Right.
They don't want to work full-time jobs. Hell, I don't even want to work a full-time job. But you know what? It pays the bills, right? It pays the bills.
Yes.
You got to do what
We
you got to do,
what
right?
we need to do until we get to where we need to be.
Yes. You got to hit the grind. You got to hit the ground. You got to go and go and go. And as much as sometimes I complain and complain and complain, it pays the bills and I got to do what I have to do. And I'm grateful and thankful and blessed that I have that job, especially with what has gone and transpired in our world right now. So, and for me, it's creating a space for these women that they can go to and to network with other places, like Weave. And
Yes.
I went to I don't even know if it's still open, but it's a place for pregnant teens. And it was called Sierra Nueva when I went through, being pregnant when I was young. And then there was a school that I was able to attend because I was in high school when I got, pregnant, and could be able to network and give these single moms an avenue. And then I, am able to give them direction to getting school for free and how to fill out the forms. And I even have somebody that I'm connected to with the state of California. So if they really want to get a job with the state of California, I can give them that direction. And then I'd like to have a brick and mortar. And the name I kind of want is single and B.you to full, meaning be yourself, because you're beautiful in your own way. And I had to work on that. So that's what I'm creating now. And for me, that is my passion, and that is my purpose, and that is the direction that I want to go. And I want to lead these single moms, but they have to want to do this themselves. They have to walk it out. And then I want them to pay it forward, just like I'm doing for these single moms.
Beautiful.
These single mamas. I mean, because to me, right, if you cannot help your children, they're our next generation. If you can't be for them, but you got to be for yourself first, because you got to help you. I understand if you got to do it, kind of at the same time. If you got to do it, you got to do it. But you got to put one foot in front of the other. Because trust me, sometimes I'm going backwards 3 or 4. Now you got to go forward 5 steps. But like I said, it takes a village to raise a child. So if we can come together as a community, like we're doing now. Now, I mean, so now I know, like, I can direct somebody to you. And, and vice versa. I can
direct somebody to you, because let me tell you, I know single moms. And what you're doing is so needed. It's essential, and it makes me kind of emotional talking about it, because I have talked to these women, and just to know that there's a community that has been through it, that can relate with you, and the resources. You talked about transitional housing. I was literally just talking to someone in a different state. She just got checked into like a Christian recovery, mental health place. And so it made me think about what you're creating. And so for people to connect with what you're doing, do they go to the Facebook page, which I will tag everybody, I will tag, or is there a website, or where can people connect with the organization that you're building? Is it mostly through the Facebook page?
Yeah, it's
And
better for
you,
them
of
to go
course.
to, well, they can join the Facebook page, but it's better for them to go to my web page, which is gracefullyblessed.org, and then they
Okay.
can put in their email address. I'm getting like, so this is in the inception process, meaning
Yeah.
I need, in order to do this, like I'm trying to partner up with like a contractor that has some of this property. I'm trying to go to our separate counties that have property that they can donate
Yes, you need
to
the place. Yeah.
nonprofits. And for me to be able
Let's give
to,
out the vibes for that. Yeah, pray for
hmm
that. Yes.
to get donations, because I am a
Yeah.
not-for-profit business. And in order for me to do this, and for me, my nonprofit is having to be in the community. And right now, with
Yes.
the fact that we have this COVID-19 thing going on, I've been stuck. And so I've been trying to work with the SBA. And
Wow.
as being, um, I mean, just myself. It's kind of funny because my niece told me, she's like, Auntie, I'm not saying that you haven't done anything and you haven't put on events, but you've been trying to do this on your own. So now you need to get people that can help you. And I just had an interview with Fox 40 News.
Yes.
I just had it.
Yes.
And trust me, I tried to talk myself out of that one because I'm like, oh, yeah, that's one of our major news stations, in Sacramento. And I was raised right here for 47 years. I was raised right here in Sacramento. And it was a fluke because it was my neighbor. I've lived across the street from her for 2 years. Said hi. We say hi to
Wow.
each other. We talk. She's going to take a Zumba class. I mean, we say hi, all that. And we happened to see her, go figure, at the pub up the street, because I was meeting somebody for my wellness company. And it just so happened to transpire that way. But my niece was like, Auntie, if you don't go on this, I'm going to kick your, yeah. And I said, okay. But it's in the inception stage, even
Yes.
though it took me 3 years and I've been doing this now, for 2 years. It's still it's fresh and it's new, and
Yeah.
and I've been meeting with, different companies that if I was to name them, people know who they are. And I'm curious as to see like if they're still up and going with this pandemic
Yes.
that we're going through. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. So anyone who just hopped on or watching the replay, once again, like, please connect with Michelle here, because I can feel it. Like, your story is such a fuel for you to be able to like move forward and use your voice and share your passion, because there are single moms out there who I know that are waiting for something like this. So we definitely need to spread the word, get people to donate, like major big companies or local companies, businesses, whatever it is, to make this happen, because
And
that would
I
just
even
be
have,
magical. Yeah.
yeah, and I even have those Jamba Juice cards, y'all. 10 bucks, and you get to you get your buy one, get one free 6 times. That's a $60 value for $10. You know what I mean? And it goes towards helping these single moms. And I want to create 3 events a year. And one of them happens to be a golf tournament. I play golf. I only do 9 holes, so I won't be in that one, but I play golf. You know what I mean? And golf
Yeah.
tournaments, people make big, huge deals on playing golf.
Yes, girl, putting yourself
And
out there. And
yeah, and
yeah.
so it's just a matter of being able to, if somebody's good at doing those types of events, I'm willing to listen and willing to sit down and collaborate and network. But I am so passionate about this because I want to take this to different states. I want to take my nonprofit internationally, because there are single mamas all over this
Yeah,
world, all over.
that need help, like literally, like right
And
now.
I'm looking, for people that would like to donate and want to, be a part of Gracefully Blessed, or possibly be on the board.
like what you said, it takes a village to grow anything and for anyone.
Yep.
So, I feel that. I feel that.
Definitely.
So
Thank
I want
you
to
so
thank you.
much.
I know
Thank
you
you for
were
giving
just
me the opportunity to
amazing.
share.
Everybody
Thank
give her
you.
some
Thank
clap, give her some
you.
emojis for being so vulnerable and sharing
Thank you.
everything from, your past to, what helped you transition into what you're creating now and where you are now. So please get in touch with her to see how you can support her nonprofit. As you can see, if you
Thank
didn't hear
you.
already, it's much needed. And I'm going to be doing this every Monday. I'm going to be having a different person, a different soul sharing their journey because, like I said, I'm sure not, a lot of you guys don't know who Michelle is, but now you do. Now you know what she has to offer. And so you'll hear a
Yeah,
different
and let
story
me
every
know.
single
We'll talk
Monday.
because I'm going to ask you how I can share this also.
Yes.
So that I'm sorry because I glitched it in the beginning. I figured
You're
I could
good.
share this and still do it at the same time. That's why I saw a lot of my friends jump on it, and I was like, yay!
Yes, I
So yeah.
believe they were, hopefully, because I shared it again on your timeline, your page, so they
Okay.
should be
Okay.
able
Good.
to see it.
Good. Good.
Okay.
Good.
All right, you guys.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks,
you again,
girlfriend.
Michelle. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. I am
I'm
so
cheering you
truly
on.
blessed to have you share me, and I really, really appreciate that. That means a lot. So thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yay. Yes.
I hope you
All
have
right,
a
you
great
guys.
rest of your night. I'm telling you, and just to share one last thing, my day
Yeah.
was very crazy and it didn't go so smoothly with this new project that I'm on at work. And I just want to let you know that it ended with a positive and graceful note. So thank you so
Mm.
much.
Oh, all the love,
Thank
all the
you.
love, all the love, all the
Thank you.
hugs.
Thank
Can't wait to
you.
hug you. We got to
Yeah, I
see each
know.
other again in person.
Ditto, girlfriend. Ditto.
All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks for tuning in. Feel
Yes.
free to share this out if you can obviously see that it's needed to be shared because
Thank
this
you.
woman is behind
Thank you,
something great.
everybody. I
And so,
appreciate
yeah.
that. Mwah, 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 mwah. Much aloha.
Have a great evening,
Bye,
guys.
sweets. You too.
Bye. Bye.